Okay. Do you want to listen to it until the beat drops? Of course you do. It's Signs, the movie. All right. Venus and Virgo. Pisces rising, come to the front, but also Pisces sun, Venus is across from you. Venus and Virgo, that's what we're talking about. That's what the entire general is about. So you would think Venus and Virgo, like, okay, it's my time. So first up we have Queen of Swords, Ace of Cups, and the Seven of Wands, bottom of the deck. Yours and my favorites. Under that, let's go, one more. Under that, let's go, one more. Under that, let's go, one more. And then, just in case we weren't sure who we're talking about, let's go one more. Okay. The thing that is so satisfying about Jungian Tarot is that when you have a definitive question, the way it unpacks your mind for you. So you would think Venus and Virgo is all of this that I have just shown you with such fanfare. And you would be right. It is all of this. There you are. Now it culminates into ta-da-da. Okay, this awkward hand placement over here. Excuse me. Matcha. The song is La Bebe. La Bebe. And then that's Signs playing in the background. And yes, those are the Supreme Nikes. Okay. Sneaker head stuff. Okay, listen. And that's great. But look here. This is where we want to focus for a minute. Venus in Virgo. Your happiness, your contentment, your success, that gets very clear by early September. And as you can see, things line up so perfectly that it just pours into you already mixed. You don't have to suffer through much more. You don't have to mix things together so much yourself. You don't have to make so much of a laborious effort from September until about your birthday. So that's great. Venus in Virgo wants to ask you a question though. What is the road to this success? Some of you have been getting some flack from family members. Could be parents, could be older siblings, could be someone who feels that they are in the parental role for you. And I think they have a plan for your life because they feel like you don't have a plan. Which is fine. None of us are really expected to understand what mutable water is doing. It's none of our business. But they have a plan. And they feel like because you are showing a lack of one, that perhaps it's time for them to step in. What do you mean, arranged marriage? Is that what you're talking about? No, I'm talking about them communicating with people, you communicating with people, your community sort of popping up around you, your parents, siblings, family members, friends, people around you want to see you happy. And they have a pretty cohesive layout for you about what they think you should do. But I think this is one of those moments where you prove to us why you are the most enigmatic sign. You don't listen. And I'm always going to encourage that you don't listen. I don't think people are really equipped to give you advice. I don't know if you've noticed, but I don't give you advice. If I give you advice, it's to not take advice. If you look back. Because I don't think that you need to be told anything. I think the way that you are is so perfect. I really, truly believe this. I think the way that you are is so perfect because you live outside of this construct, and yet you're able to live within it in the most seductive, gorgeous, successful way. I just don't think you need advice. But as much as I don't think you need advice from me, I don't think that you should be taking advice from other people. People have a plan for you right now. And it's a good plan. And it's like, if you just do what I'm telling you, you'll win. And Pisces is like, is this about winning? Is that what we're doing? Because, what's winning in the ocean? Explain to me how you explain success to a Pisces outside of, I have enough money to do what I want when I want. I think that is probably the truest definition of dunyavi or worldly success, right? For a Pisces. But explain to me how making moves, following a plan, explain to me what this kind of success, how do you explain that to a Pisces? What does that look like? It doesn't. You're not going to keep their attention. They're not going to listen. You're not going to listen. And I'm here to back your decision. When people start to aggressively put their mind on you and imply in so many ways that they're smarter than you, I love when people think they're smarter than a Pisces, because you do give bimbo sometimes, and it's very deliberate. And I love it because I can do it too, and I adore it. Very effective. But the fact that people buy it and cannot see the shrewdness behind it is terrifying to me for them, because they're seeing a mermaid, and I see that fish that lives in the depth with the light thing that hangs in front of it. And if they were smart, they would see the same thing, but they don't. Because, see, that thing with the light in front of it, that really dangerous deep sea creature, that's your mind. Your mind is so shrewd. So shrewd. That's why you're such good business people. That's why you're so good in performing. So I just found out that Elizabeth Taylor is a Pisces, and one of the things that I would like to point out in that documentary that came out with her lost tapes, fabulous by the way, is that she was a really shrewd businesswoman and was the first person I think in the world to make $1 million for a role. Just dope, right? So your mind is very shrewd, but you have this ability to kind of fawn like no one has ever fawned and create this, it is exactly that siren dichotomy where the siren seems so inviting because she's a woman in the middle of the ocean. This is the definition of vulnerability and weakness, yeah? And then when you get close enough, you realize, no, this is actually a deep sea creature who has called me over. Again, that light hanging in front of who has lured me here to its domain, where it was pretending to be vulnerable. Ooh, some would even say, hot take time, some would even say that you create that vulnerability within what I and my brothers like to call the Thunderdome. They call my love life the Thunderdome. I would say that it's because of my Vedic Pisces placements, of which I have 3. Venus in Pisces, Aries in Pisces, and the South Node. So I'm supposed to evolve past how I act and how I love. And go from being super emotional about it all to being a Virgo. That's, yeah, okay, next time. But I think you use your vulnerability almost like a trap. It's a lure. And it's a great one. It's a good one. And I love it. And like I said, big fan. I love everything you do. So, in the spirit of loving everything you do and seeing all this success on your horizon, this Mercury retrograde, Venus in Virgo, Mercury in Virgo, retrograde, Venus in Virgo, gives you a little bit of a... It gives you like an unnecessary reality check where the people around you feel like checking you. But truthfully, you're kind of happy in the chaotic way that things are progressing because you can feel your way through it. And it's almost like having an encrypted life path. Because nobody else can read what the fuck you're doing. And no one can... Because no one can read you and they can't... You're not predictable. They also can't sabotage you. Like, it's genius, right? But you have people you really love and that you really care about. Again, this Virgo energy, and it wants to take care of you, and they have the best of intentions, and they have really good ideas. They have really good ideas, and they're really smart, and they love you, and they're like, this is how you can win, you know, but like, ooh, this is not, this is what a Pisces wants. This is not winning. This is not winning. This is having it all, baby. Like, who wants to just win? It's your last go around. You're a Pisces. You've done the whole wheel. Who wants to just win? That's like what they do at the beginning of the wheel, right? No, you want it all. You want to do something you love to do that makes you feel like you're making fucking magic. And you want to be deeply in love with someone who's fucking obsessed with you and you're obsessed with them. And you know what? You want the world to see this magic you create and this love that you have and fucking feel great for you and good for you and feel love for you. Put you up there in the heavens with the rest of the things that we look up at. You're in a gorgeous period of, sure, excuse me, chaos. Sure, there is again, that encryption, there's that unpredictability, but just give it over to the people that love you, that they're doing it out of concern, but don't listen. Be mindful of how crazy it must seem from the outside. Be empathetic to how it must look and take their advice in front of them and then don't listen. And keep doing what you're doing. And the reason you should keep doing what you're doing is because whether you found love and you're super happy, or you're in the process of finding it, or you're in a situationship, or you're totally single, it doesn't matter. You are on a quest right now where you just like, you've side quested life. It's just about love now. And I don't mean relationships. I mean just like love. Things you love to do. Things that, this is cohesive. Again, this is everything. This is not just the Lover's card. This is not just success. This is not just fulfillment. Like, I don't think a lot of people are gonna understand that. It actually like brings me down to even like say it, or like to get in their headspace for a second. But like, how are they gonna understand that that's what you're about? They can't. They won't. They don't. It sucks. Don't listen to them. Let yourself thrive. Let yourself do what you've been doing this whole time and hold fast to the promise of your instinct and what you know and what you feel. Nobody needs to understand But if you keep trusting yourself, even if you've been going for a while and feeling like I'm not getting any results, maybe these people are right, maybe I should listen to them. No, good things take a long time. And even if we get everything we want, it takes us a long time to appreciate it. Let things happen. Because if you try to hold on and do what people are telling you to do and get real structured and make sense of it and make that big decision or go do that thing everyone's asking you to do, it will turn a bunch of balls that you're juggling in the air and doing really well with into something unpleasant that you can't control. We also have to talk about career and money in relation to these cards here, but we'll do that when you can see the cards. Now, Mercury retrograde. Oh, there's another card under here. My bad. Now, Mercury retrograde in Virgo, again, across from you, Pisces rising especially. When it comes to your love life, you know, I don't know why you're stuck in this kind of repeat pattern, you and Virgo, where your exes and your love life just keeps like reverting back and dragging you back and dragging you back. Even, you know, this Elizabeth Taylor thing coming out now, like it's so emblematic of what is happening with Pisces taking stock and being so lucid and clear, you know, about your past. It's not 2020 hindsight. You're not the hero in these stories. You're just objectively able to look back as a third party excuse me, and see yourself, and it's good, and it's another thing that makes you another activity that you partake in this month and going into September that makes you trust yourself and not want to deviate from however chaotic your road, right, your instinctual road is right now. Because people sure like it when you're sparkling and magical and succeeding, and yet, you know, they often are only there for the end and didn't ever have to watch you walk to the end of the board and, you know, and jump and dive. When people meet you and want to preserve you when you're already, you know, the biggest thing in the water, that's great. But you don't lose the ability to go up to that board and start again, whether it's in a new field, a new job, a new relationship. Like, you will dive all the way in again into something new and start again. And you're not afraid to start like the little fish and end up the biggest fish in the pond again, right? So for people who haven't been there for these turns and evolutions that you go through, which are very cyclical, but also they spiral. So they're cyclical, but they're spiraling up all the time. It's a really, like, I love the way you guys live. They may be very uncomfortable with you wanting to now walk to the edge of yet another diving board in a pool that you are not, you know, accustomed to, and do this dive again, because perhaps they're not as attuned to success as you are in any arena. So while this is all happening, in your sign, Saturn and Neptune are retrograde. And what that does is, while the world is perhaps doubting you, perhaps trying to help you, but like it's thinly veiled doubt, your internal system is just running all these diagnostics and it's just clear. And really is like, you know, my computer's running really well right now. My CPU is great. So as much as I love you, no thanks. Wow, it took me a long time to say that a million different ways, but I need you to understand why. Because you're lovely and you're loyal. And sometimes that translates into a weird kind of codependency where you want to do what people tell you to do just because they're telling you to do it, even though you're smarter and know what to do a whole lot better. Oh, did you think there wasn't going to be like a tea moment? Okay, yeah. No, you do that. Oh, yeah. You'll totally be codependent about intelligence. It's weird. Like I said, you'll play dumb. But there's being a bimbo and playing dumb to get what you want. And then there's being a stickler and wanting to commit to the bit. And then like really being like, oh, you're smarter than me. Give me advice and taking it. Yes. And we've lost the light, as you can tell. It is getting dark. But we're going to look at these cards in the preview for the extended. All the links for the extended are below. There's a Patreon link. Now, the Patreon link, you can, when you visit that link, you can subscribe from that link, or you can just purchase it as a single purchase from that same link. So, yay. There's a Vimeo link, there's a PayPal link, and there's a link for personal readings, which you guys are loving, and I love that. It's fun. It's really fun to get to do that. And a couple of people have reached out to me via email for like FaceTime readings. So I will put my email in the description box below. I love you. Let's look at these cards. Hi, Pisces. Welcome to your extended preview. So, parting word here for those who are, as of yet, unmarried or just you're with someone and it's going great, but you're feeling this urge, especially around the 29th of August as we wrap the month up. You want something more serious, more grounded, but it feels like such a hypocritical thing to want because you're so confused as to how to go about it. So, although you may have strong feelings, and even if you don't have a person right now, you may have strong desires to want to settle down, have children perhaps. And I think for many of you, this can bring up quite some pain because it's frustrating to, especially to a Pisces, to everyone, but especially to a Pisces, to want something and be able to see it and yet not be able to get to it, and having to understand that there is this long, not period of waiting or road, but there's this long, there's this space that happens between the things that we want and the things we're upset we don't have. The people that we want, the benchmark we want to hit. Because it's not, no matter how much you're feeling one person right now, this is cyclical, and it's happening to many, many Pisces sun and rising. So you wanting a thing, a person, you deciding that it's time for you to hit a certain mark or check a certain box in your social world, and then not being able to immediately do that. I've decided, so why isn't it so? This can cause a lot of pain, but it's unnecessary, and you should know that. Instead, really, again, being honest and taking the time to invest in yourself the right way. The right way, adding value. Okay? That value that you add to yourself right now will become the attraction point that you're looking for to call this more stable and grounded energy into your love life. But while you're out there investing in yourself and overall just being a badass, remember that before you can get to a place where you can really trust someone, settle down with someone, until you get to that place where they understand how serious you are, don't judge them for what they do before that. And if you're new with someone or someone who's unclear about how you are, especially someone who can be very friendly, then I think it's important for you to let them know that later, when you're done investing in yourself and you feel good about yourself, you're going to take, umbrage with some of the stuff that they have done while you weren't your strongest, your best, your most aware. Okay? Now, also, in terms of this retrograde, it ends on the 29th across from you. Mercury will retrograde back all the way into Leo for a little bit. At this time, I think it's important for you to steer clear of the mess from your past. Even if you know it doesn't seem messy to you, but you know it would to other people and they wouldn't tolerate it, what you're about to allow, don't give people a pass, especially an emotional one. Don't give people access to you, proximity to you, just because you feel bad about something. Okay? All right, we're going to talk about the rest of this: career and money, health and wellness, and general overall advice in the extended. I love you. I'll see you there.